1. And you go, okay, 4 to the power of 2 times 1 is just 2, so it's 16. So we can substitute values in for these variables, kind of lose sight of what the variables are. Taylor, I'm assuming you're talking about D in the same, this guy here, this A plus B and then B. I got that. S to the A plus B times S to the B. All right. My bases are the same, so I can add my exponents. I have A plus B, and then I'm going to add to it a B. So what I need to do is think, I need to combine any like terms I have. I have B's. How many do I have? Well, I have 2 of them. So I have S to the power of A plus 2B. So I guess the tricky bit here is that you have all of this math kind of floating around in your head, all of these rules that you've learned along the way, all these things that you've practiced. And in this unit especially, we're going to take all of that math stuff that you've learned and we're going to put it into one question where you have to combine like terms, you have to add exponents, you have to do all of the stuff that you've done before, subtracting exponents if it's division, and we put it all together and we say, okay, do you really remember all this stuff? Do you really know what you're doing? And maybe not so much in the first couple sections here, the adding, subtracting, division stuff, but once we get onto the 3rd and 4th lessons, it gets kind of like really overwhelming. Some of the questions are really unruly. But just kind of the reality of what it is. So that's it for that first lesson. Does anybody have any questions from unit number 1 that they'd like to go through? Perfect. Haley has some questions. Anybody else? If you want to throw those into chat, I'm going to go through those. If I'm done for today, so I'm just going to stick here and answer questions for the next 20 minutes or so. Until Mrs. Ward has English about 10:25-ish. So if you're really comfortable with Unit 1 and you want to just go, grab a coffee or something, and you can do that if you want to go do some work. But I'll just do a bunch of questions here from Unit 1 that people have. So you can hang out and watch, or you can come back at 10:25, about 20 minutes. Taylor has some questions. Bria has some questions. Alex has some questions. All right. So the first one I'm seeing here is adding and subtracting radicals 1f, h, and k. Adding, subtracting radicals. Simplifying. Like terms. This is getting messy. I'm just going to jump back here. 1, F, H, and K. Do it in green. F, H, and K. Clear myself some space. All right, let's look at F first. 6 minus 2 root 7 plus 25 root plus 6 root 7. All right, first thing I'm going to do is simplify any radicals I can. And I have a little light going off in my head. This root 25 is a perfect square. So I know that I can actually take that square root. It's just going to give me 5. After that, I can combine any like terms I have. So like terms, I have just an integer 6 and an integer of 5, so I can combine those. I have this 2 root 7, and then I have 6 root 7s. Because my radical is the same, I can combine those as well. So 6 and 5, 6 plus 5, is going to give me 11. I have negative 2 root 7 plus 6 root 7, so it's going to give me positive 4 root 7. So that was F. letter H, root 50 plus root 18. Perfect squares that go into this guy. This is kind of what we were talking about the other day. The largest perfect square that goes into 50 is going to be 25 and 2. So 25 times 2. And then 18 is going to be 9 times 2. This is a good question. Square root of 25 is going to give me 5 root 2. And then square root of 9 is 3 root 2. If I break those up, and then I have common radicals, so I can add these together. So I end up with 8 root 2. I hope that helps. And K, this one looks like a little bit more work. So root 45, root 216, minus root 6, minus root 50. All right, 45. Perfect square that goes into there. I'm going to have 9 times 5. 216. I don't have anything that comes to mind right away, so I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to go 216 divided by, let's go divided by 9. So 9 and 24, there's going to be a bigger one. 216 divided by 36, 36 and 6. So 216 breaks down to 36 and 6. Why did I know that 6? I saw it here, so I had a feeling I'd probably use that one again. Minus root 6, minus root 50. Perfect. 9 and 5 is going to be 3 root 5, and then this is going to be 6 root 6, minus root 6. Oh, I forgot the 50. That's 25 and 2. You'll start to see patterns that these things happen again and again and again. So this is minus 5 root 2. Now I look at my radicals. Do I have any that are the same? I have root 6, I have root 6. This root 5 and 2 are different, so I can't do anything with those. 3 root 5. 6 root 6 minus 1 is going to give me 5 root 6. And then I have 5 root 2. I can only combine them if what is under the radical sign is the same. That was 1, F, H, and K. Looks like Avery adding and subtracting radicals 1, F. I did here up top. Scroll up a bit. So hopefully that helped you. Bria is asking about question 4. Let's multiplying, dividing radicals 1, P, and Q. Let's look at those. Multiplying, dividing radicals 1, 1, 1. All right, multiplying, dividing radicals. Let's see what ones we have here. About 10 minutes, so I should be able to get to all of them. 1, P, and Q for sure. LMN, P, Q. Multiplying, dividing radicals 1, N, and R. N and R. I think that's it. If I've missed your question, I'll do these 4 for sure, and then you can put in other ones if you want. We have lots of time. The first one, P, Q, N, and R. Okay, let's start with N. This is the letter N here. I have 5 root 2 minus 3 root 5, and because it's squared, I'm going to write it out twice, because anything squared is just the number multiplied by itself. So I'm going to have this 5 root 2 again, minus 3 root 5. When I multiply my radicals, I multiply the numbers out front, and then I multiply the numbers under the radical sign. So I have 5 times 5. This is a FOIL question. First, outside, inside, last. So I have 5 root 2 times 5 root 2 is going to give me 25 root 4. And then I have the 5 root 2 times the negative 3, so negative 15, and the 5 and the 2 gives me root 10. And then negative 3 times positive 5 is negative 15. The 5 and the 2 again is root 10. And then the last two, negative 3 and negative 3 is positive 9. and root 5 and root 5, it gives me the root 25. All right, now I look and I see that I have a perfect square here, I have a perfect square here, and then I have some like terms I can combine. There's no perfect squares that go into 10, so I can't simplify that any further, so I'm just going to combine those together. So 25 square root of 4 is 2. I'm going to add these negative 15 and negative 15 to give me negative 30 root 10s. And then 9 times the square root of 25 is 5. So 50 minus 30 root 10, 9 and 5 is 45. Combine my like terms again, the 30 and the 45 gives me 95 minus 30 root 10. So a few steps there. Let's n. P, Q, and R. See if I can fit P down below here. 4 root 3 plus 3 root 2. 4 root 3 minus 3 root 2. These are actually called conjugates, and they're actually going to cancel a lot of stuff out. So this is kind of a interesting question once we get into it. Same process. Can I simplify anything? No. All right, I need to FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. Let's do some multiplication. 4 times 4 gives me 16. Root 3 times root 3 is root 9. So that's my first ones. I have the 4 times the negative 3 is negative 12. The root 3 times the root 2 is root 6. The inside 2, 3 and 4 is positive 12. 3 and 2 is 6. And then the last two, negative 9 root 4. Interesting thing that happens here is my middle two terms are the same, but they have opposite signs. So 12 minus 12 is going to just give me 0. I had, it's kind of like you have 12, you take 12 away, there's just none left. So those go to 0. So I'm not even going to write those. And some other cool things happen. I have 16, the square root of 9 is 3. And then I have over here, 9 square root of 4 is 2. I don't know what 16 times 3 is. Brain not working as fast as it should. 48, and then minus 18 from the 9 and the 2. 48 minus 18 should give me 30. So that one's tricky because you have this big mess of radicals and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you're just left with 30, which doesn't really make sense if you're just kind of looking at it. We'll talk about conjugates later on, how we can use those to our advantage because it gets rid of a lot of stuff. We'll do lots of questions involving those. So as N, P, if I work really hard, I could probably do Q and R as well. You can do way over on the right here. So this is Q, starting over here. 5 root 6 plus 2 root 3. And 5 root 6 minus 4 root 3. All right, again, FOIL. First times the first, first times the last, the inside 2, and then the last 2. 5 times 5 is 25. Root 6 times root 6 is root 36. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Root 6 times 3. This is a cruel question. I see how it's working out already. Inside, 2 times 5, both positives, going to give me 10. And 6 and 3 is 18. And then the last two, the 2 and the 4 is the negative 8. The 3 and 3 is root 9. There's a couple ways we could do it. Yeah, I'll just go like this. 25, root 36 is 6. I have 20 root 18s. I'm taking negative 20 plus 10. It's going to be negative 10 root 18. And then 8 times the square root of 9 is 3. 25 and 6 should be 150. and then 8 and 3, which give me 24. 150 minus 24 should give me 126 minus 10 root 18. Hopefully you make it that far. The last step here is this. This 18 has a perfect square, so we can break it down further. That's why this is cruel. We can break the 18 into 9 and 2. So we get 125 minus 10 times 3 root 2. 125 minus 30 root 2. Why the 8, Taylor? Where is the 8 you are referring to? The 8 up above here, we had, when we multiply the last two together, we have this 2 out front and then the 4 out front. So the 2 and the 4, from here, the 2 times the 4 gives me the 8, and then the 3 and the 3 gives me the 9 under the radical sign. 8 brackets 3. The square root of 9 here, just dropping the negative 8 down here, and then the square root of 9 is the 3. So that helps. Sorry I'm going through these so fast. I just want you guys to have solutions for them if you need. And if you're not picking up all this, it'll be online later, so you can just go back and look at it again. The last one's letter R. R. See if I can fit this in 3 minutes before I have to go to my next class. I'll do it here on the left. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18 root 6. Inside, 3 times 6 is positive 18 root 6. And then last, negative 9 root 36. Lots of stuff going on here. 36, my 18 root 6 plus 18 root 6, which gives me 0. Then I have negative 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is going to give me 54. 36 minus 54. I end up with negative 18 on that guy. So that one was a little tricky again. We end up with these negative positive combo in the middle here, kind of disappearing. Simplifying this root 36. Lots of radicals disappearing. We end up with just negative 18. Hope that helps. Hopefully you're not confused. There was a question I didn't answer here about Unit 1, quiz number 1 for Unit 3. Should we attempt it? If you want, you can. I would worry about Unit 1, getting that out of the way first. There's no rush on Unit 3 quite yet. So I'm done. If you guys have questions beyond this, you need help, Unit 1, Unit 2 stuff, send me a message in Moodle. I'll figure out when I'm available today, and I'll send that time back to you. But if not, hopefully you guys can attempt that Unit 1 test sometime, get the Unit 1 learning guide in. That's it. I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow.